What's up, everyone? It's Roger and Abe here from the DisKingdom podcast. And on this episode, we're going to be discussing the Jungle Book. Abe saw it over the weekend. So, Abe, what did you think of the Jungle Book?
I loved it. Yeah, it's by far one of my. I mean, it's one of my favorite live action versions of the animated classics that they've done. In fact, I think I like this movie a bit more than the animated classic.
Yeah.
Um, but it's such a good movie. I totally would go see it again in theaters. But the way they did it, it's definitely told slightly different than the regular story. It's not your musical like you have in the animated classic, although we do have a couple of songs in there. Um,
Yeah.
but the way they made certain characters feel and work in this movie, I think kind of did them justice more than the animated
Mhm.
classic did. Like Mowgli, I feel like he was smart, competent, and like strong, as opposed to the one in the animated classic. I thought he was goofy and dumb and like he
Yeah.
felt like, yeah, you know. But anyways, I thought it was just awesome movie, and Baloo definitely stole the show. He was really awesome. But yeah, no, it's definitely a great movie. I don't know if you have any questions for me as far as I don't want to spoil
Yeah. I
it too
mean,
much.
well, I'm not, I'm kind of in that kind of thing of, we didn't go see it at the cinema because basically of car. My wife has a fear of snakes and she wouldn't be able to enjoy it in the dark knowing that that scene's coming up. I think she's only in one scene. Is that right?
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I did not like about it, which was Ka was such a great character in the animated classic. The fact that she was only in it for a second, not a second, for a small scene, and not even to the point where it was a long scene. Like it was cool because she was crucial in the sense that she kind of told Mowgli his story, like how he like the movie starts differently than the anime classic, because in the anime classic you see a little baby, and obviously
Yeah.
Bagheera takes him to the wolves. This one,
Yeah.
he's already older, he's already a wolf per se, but Ka is the one that kind of tells him the story in the trans that she does with her eyes.
Yeah.
So it's great, but I wanted more of her. Unfortunately,
Mm.
you don't even get to see how she ended up after the rescue. After Mowgli gets rescued from her. Um, the only thing that I do have to say is they kind of played little subtle hints of the "Trusted Me" song while
Yeah.
while the scene was going in, but they did have Scarlett Johansson sing, as Ka "Trusted Me" at the end credits,
Mm.
which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me feel like, okay, they gave her a little bit more there, but yeah, I wanted more Ka. Definitely wanted more Ka.
See, that was sort of what I mean. That was basically we're going to wait till it comes out so we can watch it with the lights on, kind of thing. Because and this is the thing I think a lot of. I know, like, I've talking to a friend of ours that with kids and stuff. She was a little bit worried that it might be a bit too scary. And I'm going, well, it's a Disney movie, so is it really scary in that sense? Or do
I,
you
I
think
was
that's
gonna
why they
say,
toned it down?
I was gonna say King Louis and Shere Khan had way scarier scenes. In fact, I don't think there was a scary scene at all with Ka. Like there was no scary moment. I mean, in that scene,
Hmm.
it was just like she was being friendly and being like she was almost like being very cunning. Like she was kind of tricking him
Yeah,
per se. And when he's out of his trance, she's already holding him. But it wasn't like she was about to like eat him or anything like that. It got close to where she was getting closer, but then all of a sudden it cuts to black, and somebody rescued him. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
something like that. So it wasn't scary, but there are definitely some scenes it even made my girlfriend jump when we
Hmm.
saw it. Like she with King Louis. He's pretty. He's a fun character, but he's a little dark, and
Hmm.
and obviously Shere Khan. Shere Khan was woof. He was
Yeah.
evil. So
I mean, I don't know whether or not that was maybe the reason why Car's not in it so much, because I think there is that kind of thing with snakes, and there's a massive audience of people that won't like it because of that, and why they haven't maybe pushed it too much. Because with kids and stuff, that parents are more aware of like what might be scary and what isn't.
well, I was gonna say, I think the way they did the movie, it kind of made sense not to bring Ka back again, kind of like they did in the animated classic, because it kind of made sense to bring her back in the other one. But I mean, they didn't even have the vultures in this movie. I mean, because there was no
what
sense.
What we gonna do? What we gonna do?
Exactly.
What we gonna do? We're the Beatles. What we gonna do?
I mean, don't get me wrong. The vultures were in it for like 3 seconds, but like that scene was not necessary for this movie. But yeah, so there are some scary moments and some dark moments, but it's definitely kid friendly. There was tons of kids in that theater. So
it's definitely so I think I almost feel like it's one of those things like with the spoiler side of things, because it's like, well, does he just end up, it's like well, it's a remake, he probably ends up back with the jungle or back at the village. So I've never felt the whole movie like I don't need to know, I don't want to spoil, because it just doesn't feel like that kind of movie that I need to worry about it.
Well, here's the thing, like this movie definitely has some differences as far as like what Mowgli does with Baloo, like there's certain activity that they do. The outcome of Mowgli with the village, I mean, it's completely different. You have, definitely night and day compared to that. The way he battles against Shere Khan, it's honestly, it's pretty awesome, because they use Mowgli's wit and the ability, because he's a man, he's able to build things and tie stuff together. So they kind of see that as a negative because they don't like man, but he actually uses those type of traits. In fact, he's encouraged to use those traits to defeat Shere Khan. It's not more so about fire is very important in this movie, but it's not more so the main reason why Mowgli wins, It's definitely told very different. I think it almost had like a Lion King feel to it, in the sense where, actually, I'm not going to lie, there's a scene where, no joke, the water buffalo goes down in the canyon and they go in through it. It's like all of a sudden I start hearing, hey, well, like I was like, oh my god, run, Simba, run! Like, no, Mowgli was like literally just dodging him, and then all of a sudden the water buffalo ended up saving him in that scene. So it's like the reason why I brought up Lion King is like, you see there's moments where all the animals work together, so it's more of a family embrace. Like the wolf pack is not just the wolves, but the whole jungle. And one big difference that I noticed that I kind of appreciated a lot more than they did in the animated classic is, in the animated classic they kind of made elephants look dumb, even though they're smart and they have memory or whatnot. In this one, they made them almost, and it made sense, because India really, really loves and praises elephants like they're gods. They kind of made them seem that way in this movie. Like you hear Bagheera talking about how the elephants made the rivers and the mountains and everything. Like they're the ones that paved the way. Well, there's this pivotal scene in there that kind of gives you that feel. And there's also another scene that Mowgli does with the elephants that kind of makes Mowgli move into the level of the elephants, almost to the point where at the end of the movie, I don't want to ruin certain parts of the end of the movie, because it kind of has this cool feel to it, but it almost gives you this cohesiveness with the culture in India, with elephants and people, how they work together. It's some cool little scene that happens.
It's definitely so. Just on a general sort of, you would have rated it out of 10. What's your choice on this one?
I'm gonna rate it. That was really good. I mean, I definitely loved it better than the animated classic. The animated classic had more music, and that was cool. I love the action in this. I love the role that the wolves. They actually had way more wolves, like story wise, and it was awesome. I'm gonna rate it a 9. And I'm only gonna rate it a 9 because, again, I wish there was just a little bit more Ka. And definitely the scene with King Louis was cool, but I feel like I wanted a little bit more on that as well. But other than that, it was great. It was definitely good.
It's great to hear. Kind of, it definitely feels like it built up steam. I think it was kind of like a movie that everyone was a bit like, oh, I don't really want this one. But as people have seen it, and words been getting out, it feels like it's a movie has been picking up steam. And I think it will just continue to pick up steam as it get even when it comes out on video. When there's people like me and people that go, well, I'll watch it later. Do you know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I kind of can't relate with you, because for a lot of us who went to D23, out of all the animated classics, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Out of all the animated movies that were going to come out and all the live action stuff that they presented, I think Jungle Book stole the show for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And then that includes Force Awakens because we didn't see anything there for Force Awakens. But so don't get me wrong, I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, but I feel like it kind of did lose steam after D23. So I relate to you there because honestly, it took me this long to go watch it. Before, if it was a movie I was extremely excited for, I'd go watch it the day of. But it lost a little bit of steam because of all these other great movies that have been coming out. But it's definitely worth watching. So
yeah, that's cool. Well, anyway, guys, let us know in the comments below what you guys think of The Jungle Book. Comment below and get in touch with us in all the usual ways. You can check us out on DisKingdom.com and all of our different social medias and Facebook groups. Also, check out Ethan over at sortofapps.com and Magic Band Collector, who is, again, our sponsor this month. So a big thank you to him. And also, you can check us out at patreon.com/DisKingdom, where you get access to these episodes a little bit earlier as a little bit of a thank you. Even if you're just tipping a little dollar, you'll get all the app. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up today's episode. So thank you very much for watching, and cheers for going to see. He went to see Jungle Book. I went to see Civil War. So we had a different weekend.
Yep. Trust in me.
Later, guys. Anyway, guys, we shall see you guys in a later episode. Laters.